Welcome to the Informer News. I am your host, Teresiah Ndung'u. Remember, this is the program that focuses on arts and culture, politics, education, and also health. Remember, don't forget to keep your comments coming in as they are valued to keep our conversation going. You can use our Facebook page in which you use the Informer News and Twitter at the Informer News Kenya, and also with SMS line which you use 901. And now, these are the headlines. There has been a rise on the occurrences of natural calamities around the world. Kenya has experienced heavy floods in the last rainy seasons, a situation which has not been experienced before. People around the world are being encouraged to reduce their harmful industrial processes, which are highly contributing to this factor of natural calamities. Under normal circumstances, as people are getting learned, the rate of poverty is expected to go down. In contrast, in Kenya and Africa at large, this is not the situation. It has been discovered that the learned Africans are going to work abroad where they are getting better payments instead of developing their poor countries. African countries are working on the system of better payments so as to retain their people. Pelvic inflammatory disease is a condition that has made most women shy away due to the shame that comes with it. People fail to know that the condition is brought about by other factors like fungus infection and not necessarily sexual intercourse. The government is working hand in hand with the health sector so as to create awareness about the disease. And that brings us to our main topic of discussion, in which today we'll be discussing about pelvic inflammatory disease. This is the disease that is categorized under STIs, but it is not necessarily contracted through sexual intercourse, but it has been proven by the World Health Organization that the rise of this disease has risen up to 45% from 20%. This issue is very important to all women and their husbands because it has led to breaking of marriages without knowing that the wife can be getting this infection even without going outside the wedlock. Please keep on your comments coming in as they are valued to keep our discussion going. And now I'll read one of the comments from Facebook in which Gabriela is saying, I've had the infection and it is very dangerous. Women should get proper treatment for it as it is very painful. And now let's have our correspondent feature by our reporter Gabriela Njora.
Under normal circumstances, women are the talkative gender in the society. This notion has been turned in most women who are suffering from pelvic inflammatory disease. It has always been known that this disease is only transmitted through sexual intercourse. The rate of women infected with this disease has risen from 20 to 45%. This has raised an alarm in the health sector, showing a need to educate people on the disease and to encourage them that the disease is not only transmitted through sexual intercourse, but there are other factors. Some people seem to understand the disease, as Ivy Kavae is explaining her encounter with the disease.
Yes, I do know the condition and I have had it before. I contracted it in a public toilet one time, and I did go to the hospital because I was scared and I wondered what it might be. So I went to the hospital. I was given medication that lasted around a week, and when I went back, for checkup so that I can be secure, the doctor told me that the doctor gave me some of the ways you can contact it, and since I know my personal hygiene, I was wondering where might I have. But then when they mentioned about the public toilet and sometimes just using underwear that is not cotton, I talked to the doctor and I did realize that some of this condition can lead to long-term diseases such as barrenness and even to some extent cancer. So yeah.
Most men don't seem to understand the nature of the disease, as Timothy Zawadi is seen explaining.
Hiyo PID mimi hata sijui ni nini. Kwanza hiyo ugonjwa kai, si nile nasikianga sijui mtu akipata nile kwanza nile ameenda kucheza huko nje. Atakuwa amenicheat kwanza, nenda kutembea na wanaume wengine huko nje alafu anakuja napata ugonjwa. Mimi siwezi msupport. Aje sasa mimi siwezi hiyo.
The question is, has this become a societal disaster? And will the government take a step to curb the problem? Reporting for the Informer News, I am Gabriela Njora.
And now I'm joined live by our reporter Gabriela Njora, who is going to explain to us the situation on the ground. Gabriela, if you can hear me, what is the situation on the ground concerning this issue of pelvic inflammatory disease?
Thank you very much, Teresiah. I can hear you loud and clearly. From the situation on the ground, it is evident that most men don't want to believe that this disease is not only caused through sexual intercourse, but through other forms as well. The government, together with the World Health Organization, need to join hands and create awareness to the men around Kenya. That's all for now. Back to you in the studio.
And now we are joined live by today's guests. We have Dr. Solomon, who is a general doctor and also a gynecologist. We have Madam Odima, who is a psychologist expert. And we have Madam Elizabeth, who is a lecturer on the sections of self-esteem. You're all welcome to our program. Dr. Solomon, could you please tell us what is this pelvic inflammatory disease that is being now discussed as a giant all around the world?
PID is a short form of pelvic inflammatory disease. This is a disease that affects the reproductive organs of the females.
What are the causes of this disease?
There are many causes of this disease, but we have three main causes, and that is having sex, particularly when you are under 25 years, also having sex with different persons, and also having sex without a condom.
And now let's move to our able psychologist, Dr. Odima. Could you please tell us, why are women not coming out not to talk about this issue of having this infection? Could it be a psychological trauma in that they are worried about something?
There's a lot of stigma on any disease that is placed in the sexual organs, whether it's an STD or not. And PID is one of them. Yeah, so the stigma is what keeps women from recognizing that they have a problem and they need to report.
What would you encourage these women to do?
I would advise every woman, whether they are active or not active sexually, to be careful in terms of just sexual activities and any infection around their sexual organs, because some of it is not necessarily as a result of infection from an external party. It could be, like you have mentioned, a factor of workings of the functioning of the hormones that bring about candidiasis, which is manageable, maybe not treatable, and can be diagnosed in good time.
Basing on that issue you have mentioned about self-esteem, let's move to our guest, Madam Elizabeth. Could you please tell us how you get to know that a woman, maybe in your class, has this self-esteem issue?
Okay, thank you, Teresiah. I'm Elizabeth. I'm a specialist in development studies. Of course, my work is much more on the field, dealing with the communities, and I've been able to see women. And I think some of the signs that you may notice is that a woman who is having low self-esteem is withdrawn. They are shy. They have low or poor social interaction. Sometimes they are not willing to even answer questions, and especially when they are in the midst of men, they always say that that question could be answered by the men, even when you want them to answer the questions.
Okay.
So those are some of the signs that you can notice this woman is actually having a low self-esteem. Sometimes even when you give them something to eat, it's like, again, in the midst of men have to eat first.
Okay.
Eat. That's a sign of somebody who's, it's not actually a respect, but I think to me, it's low self-esteem.
How do you get to deal with such a student?
Okay, now it depends. I think the first thing is for you to understand what would be the cause of this person. Maybe the withdrawal. Could it be because of a case in her life, or is it because of cultural beliefs or exposure to their cultural beliefs? Because they can really play a lot of influence on the way they behave.
Okay.
So it's not that easy, but you can look for ways now, and I think one of the strategies is to lower yourself to their levels.
Okay.
Because for somebody who has low self-esteem, if you are at different levels, you need to go down. It's you to go down to that the level of that person.
Okay.
And then you look for ways on how you can interact together, cultivate to know what is the issue, and then after the person has opened up, you can now engage.
Now we have some knowledge about this infection, which was previously known as an infection which was only contracted through sexual intercourse. Thank you so much, our experts, for giving us such incredible knowledge and sharing with us. Thank you so much. Let's read a comment from Facebook. And Ivy is saying that thank you so much, our experts, for giving us such information, and we will also encourage women out there whom we get they have the infection and they are feeling shy to come out in the society. After the discussion we have had with our able experts, I think that this infection is something that should be looked into very seriously, and the government should team up with our health organization in this country so as to help women to get treated fast and to help them mold their marriages, in that their men are now pushing them out of their marriages because of this petty infection. I think the government should chip in and help women to come out having courage to talk about it, and young women should also be encouraged not to practice multiple partner sex, and they should abstain so as to reduce the chances of having this infection. And that's all we had for you today. But don't forget to keep on the conversation going on our social media handle. Facebook, you can use the Informa News Kenya. Twitter at the Informa News Kenya. And using the SMS line 901. Till next time, bye-bye.